Where in the world is Chad? Look at a map of Africa. Find the very center. That's where you'll find it. They call it the dead heart of Africa. Not exactly a welcoming mat, is it? It's a tough name for a tough place. Landlocked. No coastline to call its own. Surrounded by 6 other countries, each with its own stories, its own troubles. Chad sits right in the middle of it all. A crossroads. Maybe a collision point. This isn't your average holiday destination. This is a place that geography seems to have challenged from the start. But often, the most challenging places are the most revealing. We're not here for the easy ride. We're here for Chad. Think vast. If you've heard of Chad, chances are the news wasn't good. The headlines tend to scream of instability, of poverty, of humanitarian crises. And let's be clear, those aren't fabrications, those are hard realities for many Chadians. The country has faced and continues to face enormous challenges. It's a tough neighborhood, and life can be incredibly precarious. But a nation, any nation, is always more than its worst headlines. It's more than the statistics that try to define it. It's the sum of its people, the daily struggles, the small victories, their enduring spirit. We're here to look for that, to find the stories that don't make the international news. There's an undeniable energy here, a current that runs beneath the surface. You feel it in the crowded streets of N'Djamena, the capital. You see it in the determined faces of women carrying goods to market. It's a resilience forged in the crucible of hardship. People have to be resourceful here. They have to be strong. They find ways to make a life, to support their families, to find moments of joy amidst the difficulties. They gather, they talk, they share. Daily existence is a testament to human tenacity. It's not always comfortable to witness. It's rarely simple, but it's profoundly real. And that reality has its own kind of beauty, its own power. So, how does a country like Chad keep the lights on? Or, more accurately, how do people put food on the table? The economy here isn't some slick Wall Street operation. Far from it. It's a story of contrasts, a tale of what lies beneath the ground and what grows on top of it. Then, relatively recently, black gold was struck. Oil. That changed the game. Or at least, it promised to. While the oil rigs hummed, life for most Chadians continued much as it always had, tied to the soil. Agriculture is still the backbone for the vast majority. The big question is, where does the oil money go? The reality on the ground often tells a different story beyond the official figures. There's another economy, the one that happens on the streets, the informal sector. This is where the real daily grind takes place. Women selling vegetables by the roadside, young men repairing motorcycles, traders with small stalls, piled high with everything. This is about survival, making enough to feed the family today. It's raw, unfiltered capitalism, but making a living here is no easy feat. The challenges are immense. Paved roads are a luxury. During the rainy season, vast swathes become inaccessible. Electricity is unreliable. Power cuts are a daily occurrence. Imagine running a small business when the lights could go out at any moment. These are major roadblocks to economic progress. Then there's the red tape and bureaucracy. Facilitation payments are sometimes needed. Call it corruption or the cost of doing business. It's a heavy weight on small entrepreneurs. When rules are unclear, it creates uncertainty. People are incredibly resourceful. but they are swimming against a strong current. Every day they battle systemic issues. It takes a special kind of resilience. Yet, the hustle continues. The markets are always buzzing. They innovate with what little they have, a clever workaround for a missing part. This isn't the idealized free market. This is a free market of necessity. It's driven by an incredible human spirit. You see it in the quick smiles, the shrewd bargaining. They are the engines of their own survival. Section 3. Navigating the future between hope and headwinds. So what's next for Chad's economy? Where does it go from here? Everyone agrees that relying too much on oil is a dangerous game. Prices go up, prices go down. It's a roller coaster. And the reserves won't last forever. The magic word you hear a lot is diversification. Sounds good, right? Spread your bets. Don't put all your eggs in one oily basket. But moving from words to action, that's the tricky part. What else can Chad sell to the world? What other sectors can be nurtured to create jobs and sustainable income? These are the multi-billion-dollar questions facing the country. There's certainly potential. Look at gum arabic. Chad is one of the world's biggest producers of this resin, harvested from acacia trees. It's used in everything, from soft drinks to pharmaceuticals. Then there's livestock. The country has vast herds. Could there be more processing, more export of meat and leather goods, meeting international standards? Agriculture itself, if given the right support, irrigation, better seeds, access to markets, could be far more productive. These aren't new ideas. They've been talked about for years. But turning potential into reality requires investment, stability, and a genuine commitment to change from the top. Foreign aid and international loans play a significant role, no doubt. Money flows in for development projects, for humanitarian assistance. It's a lifeline in many ways, but it's also a complicated relationship. Sometimes it comes with strings attached. Sometimes it doesn't quite reach the people it's intended for. And there's always the question of dependency. Can a country truly stand on its own feet if it's constantly relying on external handouts? The goal, everyone says, is to build a self-sufficient economy. But the path from here to there is long and full of potential pitfalls and detours. The future for Chad's economy, much like its climate, feels uncertain. There are glimmers of hope, small businesses starting up, new initiatives exploring untapped resources. But the headwinds are strong. Regional instability, internal governance challenges, the ever-present threat of climate change. It's a tightrope walk. Progress is slow, often frustratingly so. And for the ordinary Chadian, the one trying to make a living day by day, these grand economic strategies can feel very distant. Their reality is the immediate need, the daily struggle. Their hope is for a future where their hard work actually leads to a better life. The first hint of dawn in Chad isn't just a visual cue. It's a profound shift in the atmosphere. Life begins to move, unhurried yet purposeful, governed by ancient rhythms. Women and young girls head to the nearest well, their silhouettes stark against the paling sky. As the sun asserts its presence, the Chadian day truly gets underway. The aroma of wood smoke mingles with the dusty air as small fires are kindled for the morning meal. Men gather their tools and head to the fields, their movements economical, born of long practice. The midday period brings a tangible weight of heat, dictating a change in pace. Sensible life seeks whatever shade can be found. As late afternoon softens the harsh light, the day's primary labors wind down. The focus shifts towards the homestead, towards the evening meal, the most significant of the day. City contrasts and village ties. N'Djamena, Chad's capital, contrasts sharply with the rural stretches of the country. The buzz of motorcycles weaves through streets choked with cars and pedestrians. Despite differences, the bedrock of Chadian society is family and community. Social gatherings are vibrant, marking births, marriages, and celebrations. The laughter of children playing with improvised toys shows joy in simplicity, echoes of the divine faiths across the Sahel. Chad is a land where the spiritual is deeply woven into the everyday. Faith isn't just a Sunday affair here. The two main currents are Islam and Christianity, and beneath them, older, ancestral beliefs still hold sway. This isn't a place of stark religious divides, a quiet understanding, perhaps born from shared hardship, the unseen threads, daily life and ancient customs. Tradition in Chad isn't some dusty relic preserved in a museum. It's a living, breathing force. It guides actions. It shapes relationships. It provides the unwritten rules for how to live, how to be a good person within your community. These customs are the threads that weave society together, passed down from grandparents to parents, from parents to children. Often it's through stories told around a fire, through proverbs shared in conversation, through observing the actions of elders. This oral heritage is incredibly rich. It's the collective wisdom of generations, teaching respect, responsibility, and the importance of belonging. These aren't just quaint habits. They are survival strategies refined over centuries. So much of Chadian tradition revolves around the family and the wider community. Life's big moments are rarely private affairs. Think of the birth of a child, a joyous occasion celebrated by all. Naming ceremonies are significant, bestowing an identity and a place within the lineage. Marriage is a cornerstone. It's not just about two individuals, it's an alliance between families. A major communal undertaking filled with elaborate rituals, feasting, and music. These events reinforce kinship ties, remind everyone of their mutual obligations, and ensure the continuity of the group. They are colorful, vibrant affirmations of life and social bonds. Hospitality here is more than just good manners. It's a sacred duty, a moral imperative. To welcome a stranger, to offer them food and drink, is a fundamental Chadian value. Even those with very little will share what they have. The ritual of preparing and sharing tea, often 3 rounds, from bitter to sweet, is a perfect example. It's a slow process, designed to encourage conversation, build trust, and honor the guest. It doesn't matter if you're a relative or a traveler from afar. The warmth of the welcome is genuine. This generosity is a bedrock of social interaction, fostering connections in a land where mutual support can mean everything. Respect for elders is another pillar of Chadian custom. Age is equated with wisdom and experience. The old ones are the keepers of history, the arbiters of disputes, the ones whose counsel is sought in difficult times. You see this respect in daily interactions, in the way younger people address their seniors, in the deference shown to their opinions during family or village meetings. This isn't blind obedience. It's a recognition that those who have lived longer have learned valuable lessons. This hierarchy provides stability. It ensures that decisions are made with a sense of perspective, guided by the accumulated knowledge of the community, rhythms of community, celebrations, and shared heritage. When it's time to celebrate in Chad, the whole community comes alive. Festivals are a vibrant punctuation mark in daily life. Major religious holidays are central. Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha are huge. Families gather, dressed in their finest. Special foods are shared widely. Prayers and generosity fill the air. Christians celebrate Christmas and Easter with fervor. Faith and festivity merge seamlessly. Music and dance are the heartbeat of traditions, essential forms of expression and connection. Drums at weddings, harvests, and ceremonies. Melodies tell stories and evoke emotions. Dances reflect history and beliefs, a shared language that transcends words. The artistry of Chadian hands is evident. Traditional crafts show ingenuity and connection. Potters shape clay into essential vessels. Weavers create stunning textiles. Leather workers produce durable and decorated goods. Jewelry signifies identity and status. Skills are passed down through generations. Traditions provide identity and continuity. They are the soul of the nation. They are what makes Chad, Chad. Grains of sustenance. The Chadian plate. Chadian cuisine isn't about Michelin stars or fancy plating. Let's get that straight. It's born from necessity, from the unyielding earth and a climate that gives little away for free. What people eat here is a direct reflection of what the land can grudgingly provide. We're talking about a diet shaped by centuries of making do, of coaxing life from arid soil and scarce water. The main players are the hardy grains, the ones that can withstand the Sahelian sun millet and sorghum. These are the bedrock, the foundation upon which most meals are built. In a place where every harvest is a gamble against the elements, these cereals are more than just food. They are survival itself, the very essence of sustenance in a challenging land. The star of the Chadian table, day in and day out, is a thick porridge. You'll find it everywhere, known by various names, like boul or asida. This isn't some delicate, refined dish. It's the fuel that powers the nation. Imagine a dense, smooth paste, made from pounded millet or sorghum flour, cooked with water until it's firm enough to be eaten by hand. The preparation itself is a daily ritual. Often, the rhythmic thud of women pounding grain in large wooden mortars, echoing through villages. This porridge is the canvas, the blank slate, ready to receive whatever modest accompaniment can be found. It's the definition of staple food, humble yet utterly indispensable to life here. Shared flavors, dishes, drinks, and dining. Chadian cuisine tells a story of the local landscape and culture. Daraba, a hearty stew with okra, tomatoes, and sweet potatoes. Kishar, a type of dried meat, is practical for nomadic groups. The bustling capital N'Djamena offers tempting street food. Charcoal grills sizzle with skewers of meat, seasoned with local spices. Karkanji, a tartly refreshing drink made from dried hibiscus flowers. Sweet mint tea, known as atay, is a ritual of hospitality and conversation. Meals are shared from a common platter reinforcing family ties. Hospitality dictates that a guest must always be offered food and drink. The theory meets the dust, defining Chad's markets. What is a free market in theory? The textbook idea. It's about buyers and sellers meeting, prices set by supply and demand, competition, innovation, and the invisible hand guiding things. In this ideal world, anyone with a good idea and some hustle can jump in. The government mostly stays out of the way, just ensuring fair play. It sounds like a beautiful, efficient machine, doesn't it? A level playing field where the best ideas and hardest workers win. That's the dream of the free market, a promise of prosperity through unfettered exchange. Now, let's bring that beautiful theory crashing down to earth, right here in Chad. Does that textbook free market truly exist here? That's a complicated question, with no simple yes or no answer. Sure, you see markets everywhere, teeming with activity, a vibrant dance of commerce that fills the streets and open spaces. But the free part, that gets murky very quickly. Government intervention might not always be about meticulous regulation designed for fairness. Sometimes it's more about who you know or what unofficial facilitation fees you've managed to pay to get things moving or to be left alone. Infrastructure, or the profound lack of it, those crumbling roads we talked about, the electricity that comes and goes like a fickle friend, acts as a massive unseen hand, often squeezing the life out of entrepreneurial dreams before they even have a chance to take root. These are not the conditions under which a pure free market thrives or flourishes. The informal sector, that sprawling, often chaotic network of street vendors, small traders, and artisans, is probably the closest thing you'll find to raw, unadulterated commerce in Chad. Here, the rules are often unwritten, forged in the heat of daily transactions and the urgent need for survival. It's a market born of necessity, propelled by an immediate, pressing drive to make ends meet, day by day, meal by meal. There's a certain liberty here, a palpable freedom from a lot of the official red tape that can be so suffocating for any aspiring business owner. But this freedom, this lack of oversight, comes at a considerable price. There's little formal protection if things go wrong, no safety net if a deal sours or if misfortune strikes. It's the Wild West of trade, where ingenuity and resilience are your most valuable assets, and where the line between barely thriving and just surviving is incredibly precariously thin. Even within these bustling, seemingly open markets, the playing field isn't always level, not by a long shot. Starting a business, any kind of business, requires capital, and that's a massive, often insurmountable hurdle for most Chadians. Banks aren't exactly lining up to hand out small loans to street vendors who lack traditional collateral or a formal business plan. So, initial funding often comes down to meager family resources or informal lending networks, which can carry their own heavy risks and exorbitant interest rates. Then, there are the established players, those individuals or groups who already have better connections, superior access to wholesale goods, maybe even a bit of political influence to smooth their path. For a newcomer, trying to break into this system can be incredibly tough. The freedom to participate is there in theory, but the practical barriers can feel like high, invisible walls, effectively keeping many on the very margins of meaningful economic activity. Surviving the bazaar dynamics of Chadian commerce. Chadian markets are the lifeblood of the nation's economy, essential for daily survival. They provide food, clothes, and basic goods, linking rural producers with urban consumers. The impact of these markets is immediate and profound. Market disruptions threaten household survival and social stability. Poor harvests and closed borders can cause prices to skyrocket, deepening hunger. Chadians constantly adapt to economic shocks, showcasing resilience and enterprise. These markets are chaotic yet vibrant, essential to Chadian society. Concrete and dust. The Chadian metropolis, N'Djamena, the capital, is Chad's largest urban sprawl. It's where the government sits and deals are made. Motorcycles weave through the streets, a metallic swarm. Dust is a constant companion, coating everything. The energy is palpable, a mix of organized chaos and relentless human endeavor. The Grand Marché is an explosion of commerce, a labyrinth of stalls. These urban centers are the engines of Chad's modern economy, humming with resilient human energy. The lingering echo of the Sahel, Chad, sun-baked plains, vibrant markets, and sweet tea with its people. A nation defined by hardships, yet rich in unseen ways. Complex, woven with struggle, survival, and a harsh environment. Lived experiences of millions, etched into the soul of the country. Yet, an incandescent spirit burns fiercely, a tenacious grip on life and community, leaving an indelible mark. Deep roots of tradition, unwavering faith, and living forces shaping identity. Shared meals, respect for elders, vibrant celebrations, pushing aside daily burdens, cultural underpinnings of resilience, supporting individuals and families, quiet strength, shared history, and mutual dependence. The dead heart of Africa, anything but lifeless. It beats with a rhythm all its own, echoing resilience and spirit. Untold stories of a land and its people. Please subscribe and share. Stay happy.